So we're starting our day down at the Waterfront, which is like one of the main areas here in Kuching. It's so beautiful and scenic here.
This is definitely the best place to start the day because it's such a peaceful area. You can go for like a nice walk along the river. You can see so many sights dotted along, colourful buildings on one side and then beautiful views on the other. It's perfect.
So one of the most iconic places in Kuching is the Sarawak State Embassy, and it's painted like this beautiful like yellow gold colour. You can't actually go in because it's obviously a government building, but you can walk in front of it and you get amazing views from this side of the river as well. Definitely one of the most beautiful buildings we've seen in Kuching, because just look at it, and something very special happens in front of it every night, so we'll make sure to show you that later too. So if you walk down the riverfront a bit longer, you'll find the Indian Mosque of Kuching, which is a beautiful mosque built 186 years ago by Indian Muslim traders. And however, it was rebuilt back in 2019 and can now fit 1,600 worshippers. And it is actually a floating mosque, so it sits above the river and it's really cool. It's got a Middle Eastern design and looks absolutely stunning. You can visit inside, outside of prayer hours, and it would be definitely a cool thing to check out if you are here.
We've just come to India Street, which is one of the most colourful and beautiful streets in the whole of Kuching. It's filled with different shops. There's clothes, there's gold, there's bags, there's all sorts on sale. And it's a really lovely place to walk down. It's also a little bit more shaded because we've got this beautiful like shelter over the top of us that's all in like this pattern, and it's really beautiful.
So there's always been a large number of Indian shops down this road. However, in 1928, the name of the street officially got changed to India Street rather than Kling Street, which was its original name. And then in 1992, it became a car-free street, which is absolutely amazing because I mean, you can just walk down, not have to bother about cars or motorbikes trying to run you over. Which means it's so much more peaceful. You can just window shop. You just don't have to worry about other cars or vehicles. And it's a lot quieter than other India streets we've been to. There's a lot less noise and chaos going on, which is a much welcome relief.
We saw this mosque in the distance down one of the streets and we were like, have to come and check it out. So this is the Kuching City Mosque and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a lot bigger than the floating mosque. Unfortunately, the main dome is under the construction at the moment, so you don't get like the full beauty, but it's pretty cool. Behind me is the Borneo Cultures Museum. It is such an impressive building. It's insane. It looks huge and they've designed it in like this way to make it look like part of the culture. It is the second largest museum in the whole of Southeast Asia, which is just crazy. It costs 50 ringgit per adult to get in, which is a little bit on the pricier side, especially for Kuching. However, there are also several free museums just across that you can go in as well, such as the Sarawak State Museum. This is the oldest museum in the whole of Borneo, dating back to 1891. It has on display the handicrafts of the indigenous people as well as the wildlife of Sarawak. There is also the Natural History Museum, which has loads of different specimens from Sarawak on display, all different like bones and taxidermy. There's also an art museum to the left between these two buildings. However, they're all closed today. For not like a regular routine close, they're closed to like map all their artifacts to make sure they've all got them on record and stuff, which we did not plan for, and we were planning on going in, so that hasn't quite worked out. But if you do go in, comment below, let us know what they're like. All of them are free and they're all right next to each other, so you could easily hop between them. And I don't think any of them are like particularly big, so it probably only take like an hour or two to do them all.
So our next stop today is the beautiful Chinatown in Kuching, and it's made up of two main streets. You've got the main bazaar street, which runs along the waterfront, which is absolutely beautiful. It's a great place to get like souvenirs and like little trinkets like that. So then I'm currently down Carpenter Street, which is where a lot of like the food and restaurant shops are. However, a bit of an ironic thing is the first shop you come to when you enter like the main gate of Chinatown is an Indian cuisine shop. There's loads of different like temples and stuff we might check out, and you've got like the Chinese lanterns hanging from across the street, and it's a really cool place to come. It's so colourful and vibrant. Definitely one of our favourite places so far in Kuching. So the first temple in Chinatown is the Hiang Tian Siang Ti Temple, which is a mouthful, but it's absolutely beautiful. It was originally built in the main bazaar about 180 years ago. However, it got moved to Carpenter Street in 1863, and then in 1968 it underwent major reconstruction to what it is now, and it looks absolutely stunning. It's so colourful and vibrant, so much like intricate detail. I think you can actually go in, which it does look very cool on the inside, so I might give you a little tour on the inside too. This place is so cool on the inside. There's so much like intricate artwork and like things hanging from the ceiling. There's some like little shrines as well. It's so cool to come inside. It's probably one of my favourite like Chinese temples we've been in. It's just so much colour and vibrancy. It's absolutely beautiful in here. Definitely worth a visit.
Now that we're caffeinated, we have come to the Chinese History Museum. Don't really know what to expect from this one. It has amazing reviews online, like 4.7 stars and like over 900 reviews. So you can't really knock that, but it looks quite small. So I don't really know what to expect. It's located right on the riverfront. You've got like the main road going behind it and then the river in front of it. Let's go and see what it's like. We can't film inside, unfortunately, but we will let you know our thoughts after. So we've just come out of the museum, and as expected, it was quite small inside, but they've actually made really good use of the space. So like the exhibit kind of snakes through. It was quite interesting. It wasn't too like interactive. So I know that Nat got a little bit bored because he's dyslexic and doesn't like reading big bits of information. But they did have everything written. All the information was in English as well as Chinese. And yeah, it was quite interesting. It was kind of telling the story of the Chinese immigrants in Sarawak. The bonus of this museum is that, again, it is free to enter. So, you know, if you pop in and it's not really your thing, then just leave again, because nothing wasted.
So Kuching is also named the City of Cats, and there's cat statues and like little like paintings and stuff literally everywhere across the city, such as this is the most famous one in the middle of like a roundabout area. And there's several theories to why it's got the name Kuching. Kuching does actually mean cat in Malay. However, no one actually knows why it got the name Kuching. And there's several like popular theories. One is that in the 19th century, a British explorer was sailing down the river with his Malay guide and pointed to this waterside city and asked what it was called. Guide thought he was pointing to a cat and said Kuching, which is the Malay term for cat, and since then it's got its name. Another popular theory is that it was named after the Mata Kuching tree that was popular throughout this area, but no one actually knows why, which is quite fun. But it's really like fun to walk around the city, try and find as many cat statues and like little stuff as possible. They're hidden in some really cool places. There's actually a cat museum just on the other side of the river, a bit further away. It's quite a drive or a walk if you do want to go, but if you're really into cats, that's definitely something to check out. Apparently it's the world's first all cat museum. Kuching is split into two by the river. There is two ways to get through. The first way is via the bridge that is just over there, which is really cool and so scenic. However, the option number two is a bit more fun, so we might try and do that now. So we're currently on option number two, which is these boats. They're literally using paddles, just sailing across the river. It wobbles a lot when you get on, but it's actually quite relaxing once you're on it. Very peaceful and scenic, so it's definitely a fun way to travel. It only costs one ringgit each, which is like 17p, so definitely good value for money. So we've just gotten off the boat. It was so tranquil and peaceful. The only bits that are a bit sketchy are the bits getting on and off where the boat does rock quite a bit. But it literally only cost one ringgit each, which is crazy.
Yeah, so cheap. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, but one thing I did remember, basically, once we got on and started rowing was This water has crocodiles and definitely a good way to travel. But now we're over here, we're going to explore this side of the river a bit more because there is quite a bit to actually do on this side. Most people just stay on that side of the river and then occasionally come over the bridge, wander around that end. But there's actually quite a bit to do and see. So we're going to show you what you can do if you cross the river in Kuching.
So one thing you can do on this side of the river, and it's one of my favourite things in the whole of Kuching, is to walk along this kind of like boardwalk over the river. Okay, it's not actual board, it's pretty much concrete, but it's so peaceful and so relaxing, and it just goes over the river. You've got a river that side, river underneath us, and it's so beautiful. You've got amazing views of the city. I think this side you get better views of the city, of all the colourful buildings in the old town, the big sky rises in the new town, and you don't get that on the other side, so definitely worth coming over to check out. And it's so peaceful as well, like there's no one else here.
So behind me, according to my maps, is apparently Southeast Asia's largest or tallest flagpole, and it's very tall, especially it's really cool with the flag blowing. However, I don't know how factually true that is because we saw the one in Kuala Lumpur that was 95 meters tall, and I don't think this one's taller, but you never know. If someone finds out, fact check me.
Our next stop is the Margarita Fort, which was built in 1880. It's located on the opposite side of the river to the like old town and stuff, on top of the hill, just behind the flagpole. However, not 100% sure if it's open. It looks rather closed. But we'll go and have a look and see if we can get in. Let's hope the trend doesn't continue. Okay, so I think it is open. It's 30 ringgit per adult to get in. So it's a little cheaper than the Borneo Cultures Museum. But again, there are plenty of free museums if you don't want to pay. Hi. Fascinating museum. There's even a cat inside. Just asleep in the window. Very cute.
That is very bright. I can hardly see. Been inside a shaded room for like the last hour or so, reading all the facts. Oh, but it's absolutely amazing views up here, wow. You can see the whole river, the state embassy. Gorgeous.
We've come out into the courtyard area of the fort, and I'm guessing it wasn't like a very actively used fort, or maybe it was small on purpose, but yeah, it's pretty small. It looks like you used to be able to go up the steps and walk around the outside, and I can imagine the views from there would have been amazing. There's like some like binocular things up there, so I'm guessing you used to be able to, but it's all roped off now, so you can't. So I'm not gonna lie, not much to see out here. The actual museum was fascinating. I really enjoyed that. We spent quite a long time there. There's 3, I think, floors of information, and then you can go up to the 4th floor, which is the roof terrace, for amazing views. And it talks all about like the Rajas of Sarawak, right from the first Raja, who basically was given Sarawak by the Sultanate of Brunei as a gift for helping them against their enemies. Got several different like tribes and clans kind of all blending together. It's not one culture. It is influenced by many different little cultures, but they are so proud of it throughout the state even today. If you've got a bit more time, you can also go to the Sarawak Cultural Village, where they kind of show you, it's like an open air museum showing you all the different cultures of Sarawak.
So our final stop on this side of the river is the Astana, which derives from the Malay word Istana, which means palace, and it was constructed in 1870 as a form of royal residence for the second White Raja, and is now used as a residence for the governor of Sarawak. So it's no longer, you can't actually go in as part of the public because it's a residential building, but it looks really cool from the outside. But this is our final stop before we head on the other side of the river. We'll show you what else there is to do at night in just a bit, because it's honestly a completely different place at night.
One of the last stops today is Tua Pek Kong Chinese Temple, and it's absolutely beautiful. This is the oldest Chinese temple in Kuching, believed to date back to before 1839. This temple is very special because it survived both the 1884 Great Fire of Kuching and the Japanese invasion in World War II. And it's still here today. It's very colourful on the outside, not quite as impressive on the inside as the one we saw this morning. However, it's still incredibly beautiful. You've got views of the river and it's very peaceful, very beautiful. So for dinner, we have come to our favourite restaurant in Kuching, Borneo Delight. It does all local dishes. They do a mix of vegetarian and meat options, and everything's super reasonably priced. And their atmosphere in here is just 10 out of 10. They're playing traditional music, it's decorated in a traditional style. It's just amazing, highly recommended. So as I was saying earlier, Kuching is a city that's very, very proud of its culture and its heritage. At night, the city is lit up with all of these street lamps, and you can see that they have the national emblems or the symbols of Sarawak. Kuching is a completely different city at night. It was at night that we first experienced it, and it was at night that we first fell in love with this city. Everything just lights up. You've got the Sarawak embassy just beautifully lit up, illuminating the sky. You've got the bridge that just changes colour constantly, and it's so beautiful. Not only that, but the streets are covered in lights. You've got the ones that are over the roads with different iconic symbols of Sarawak, and you've got the trees that all have strobe lights lighting them up. You've also got musicians playing traditional instruments on the streets. You've got families going for walks, and it's so peaceful and so relaxing, and yet everyone's also out at the same time. It's kind of this weird blend of vibrant and yet calming. And I love that so much. We have some exciting things tonight, so make sure you stick around right to the end because you're not going to want to miss it. We are definitely ending with the best thing to do in Kuching. So we've just come on top of the bridge, and there's two viewing platforms. The first one gives you amazing views of the city. The mosque is all lit up. You can see the whole riverbank with lights just as far as the eye can see. The second viewing platform is on the other side of the bridge, not just on the other side of the river, but also the other side of the bridge. So it has amazing views of the Sarawak State Embassy, which just looks fantastic. And you also get views of the other side of the riverbank, which is, again, just so beautiful. This one also has mood lighting. The lights change colours every couple of seconds, whereas the other one is just white.
So we're now on the way to get dessert, and it's one of the most famous places in the whole of Kuching. So we've just gone to IG Ice Cream, which is one of the most famous ice cream places in the whole of Kuching, and it's gula apong ice cream, gooey honey syrup, and it's in the ice cream and also the sauce, and it's famous all over Malaysia. So you can also get two toppings. So I've gone for cornflake and Oreos. So let's see what it's like. It's really nice, very sweet. Kind of got a caramelly taste to it. It's quite dark in colour, but it's really nice. So we're gonna have this and watch the last thing we've got on tonight. It's definitely our favourite thing to do in the whole of Kuching. So we've just come down to the waterfront to check out the best thing to do in Kuching. You wanna come at 8:30 and sit on the steps just in front of the little fort thing and directly opposite the State Embassy. And it is honestly stunning. Check this out.
That was absolutely amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
So good. We've come here for 3 nights now, and each night it's slightly different, like new songs. Sometimes they do repeat them, but it's so good every night.
And it lasts 15 minutes as well, so it really is like worth it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I think we obviously went to see the light show in Kuala Lumpur, but I think this one beats it by far. I've never seen water fireworks before, so
Yeah,
that was
Kuala
really
Lumpur's got nothing on this. So hopefully you've enjoyed seeing what Kuching has to offer today. We've been around everything and tried to go in as much as possible, but
Didn't always work out.
no.
But we hope we've shown you how amazing Kuching is as a city in itself, and it's not just all about the wildlife. Of course, that is amazing as well,
Yeah.
but make sure you dedicate some time to Kuching, because this city is just so vibrant, so full of life, and so much fun to be around.
Yeah. So if you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of our Borneo adventure.
We've just walked past Zoe Coffee, and there's this sign outside that says, "This cafe is run by a semi-domesticated cat who called himself the owner. 50% of the profit goes towards keeping him out of dumpsters, funding his coffee addiction, preventing him from selling artisanal stickers on Etsy. If he starts offering life advice, do not accept. Your overpriced coffee equals his dignity. Drink responsibly." I love that. Anything else?
No, it's about good.
That good.
About good,
That
Bob.
good.